Have you ever wondered how to turn your business into a franchise? Well, stick around. We have the answer for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this episode of Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I'm your host, Alicia Curry, and on today's show, we're talking all about franchising, how to turn your small business into a franchise. So if you wondered how McDonald's did it, or Burger King, or any of the major franchises out there, and you're thinking, I want to spread my wings, I want to, you know, duplicate this business model somewhere else. Now, it doesn't have to be as big as McDonald's or Burger King, but just duplicate maybe one or two other branches of your business. We have somebody, we got the guy. So stay tuned. And if you know someone who wants to do that, invite them to join the broadcast. So if you are on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. If you're not on YouTube, please, you can go over there. It's youtube.com/c/Alicia Curry and just hit that subscribe button. And if you hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up. You won't miss any of our episodes when we go live. So go ahead and check us out on YouTube. We got a lot of content over there. Also, please subscribe. Nope, not subscribe. Please join our community over on Facebook. We have a small business community that you can go over there on Facebook and you can promote your business. You can meet others. We do a few things over there. We have a quarterly networking event, a virtual networking event. And like I said, you can go over there and promote your business on SBSSO. So go over to facebook.com/groups/SBSSO. Thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs up. Love it. Now, on this show, there are 3 ways to get a shout out. So the first way to get a shout out is to leave a comment. So if you leave a comment of who you are, what your business is, and maybe how someone can reach you, or who your clients are that you serve, I will put it on the screen during the show and you will get a shout out. Look, right here, I'm giving a shout out to Derwin. Hey, Derwin Brown. Hello from Atlanta. Derwin is he is a guitar instructor, but not only that, he also helps adults learn how to play the ukulele. So if you always wanted to play an instrument, check out Derwin Brown. Derwin, if you drop your website onto in the chat, I'll put that up for you, and that's how you get a shout out. See how easy that was? And the second way you can get a shout out, of course, is you can be a guest on the show. And the third way you can get a shout out is if you send us a 30-second commercial of your business, we'll put it up and you'll get a shout out that way. I'll play your commercial. So yes, the guitar and the ukulele. So I hope I said that right. And it's called Music with Mr. Brown. So if you go to musicwithmrbrown.com, check it out. There will be, he teaches kids how to play guitar and adults the ukulele. So there you go. See how easy it is to get a shout out? That's a shout out. Now, we have these shows. So we are looking for guests. So if you want to be a guest on the show, email support@aliciacurry.com and we'll send you all the information to become a guest for the show. Our shows usually air on the first and third Saturday of the month. This is a little different. Sometimes we have to shift the schedule based on my schedule. So I was traveling, or supposed to be traveling, last Saturday, so I couldn't do the show. So we pushed it to this Saturday. I was actually on my way to Atlanta last week. So Yeah, so we moved the show. So it's possible that we can make arrangements. So if the first and third Saturday doesn't work for you, send me an email. Again, send us an email and we'll work something out with you. Support@aliciacrew.com if you'd like to be a guest on the show. If you find that this show or anything that we share with you is beneficial, please leave a comment and share it with someone. We would so appreciate it. Let me see. I did want to just also give a shout out to one of our sponsors. We're going to play the commercial a little bit later on, but FAMU Mary is they are educating people about the legal use of medical marijuana. If you'd like to know more about medical marijuana and its uses, please visit their website at mary.famu.edu. That's MMERI, sorry, it's not two R's. I have to change that. MMERI.famu.edu. So I am going to make that edit and bring it back up for you. So please visit Mary to understand the proper usage of medical marijuana. So now I hope you're excited to find out about franchising. I am going to bring up our next guest. So stick around. And welcome back to this episode of Small Business Saturday Shoutout. My next guest is Steve Taylor, and I want to share a bit about Steve before we bring him on the show. So Steve is a veteran from the Navy. He was a Navy lieutenant, and he proudly served for 7 years. And when he completed his military service, he began his career in high tech and consumer electronics. But he was also interested in finding out more about franchising and owning a small business himself. So he purchased his first franchise during the Great Recession, and then started really developing this passion that he didn't realize he had in helping other people find a business that they loved. So he found that there was a lot of opportunity in franchising. He realized people can have the American dream through franchising, and so he became a franchise consultant and wanted to just help other people begin their own business. So welcome to the show, Steve. I should say welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Alicia.
You're very welcome. You know, the last time you were on several months ago, we shared how people, if you are especially a veteran or someone interested in business ownership, how franchising is a really great opportunity. And you shared how to become a franchisee. And this time we're going to flip the script and we're going to look at, let's say you already have a business and you have a pretty great system and you want to expand that. So today we're going to tackle franchising your own, creating your business as a franchise, right?
Sure. I would say it doesn't even have to be a great system. Of course, a good idea or a great operations, fantastic customer service, all those things can be helpful. But what really has to happen, or what a client or a franchise or a potential franchisor needs, is a passion to replicate what they've done and to empower others to do what they've done successfully.
So a passion, that's the first thing that you should have, is a passion to replicate. So you can have any kind of business, right? That can turn into a franchise.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. it can be virtually anything. That's correct. I mean, I was there are about 5 companies I've worked with over, this year so far. A couple of restaurants, a home service franchise. I'm just trying to, just off the top of my head, remembering what the other two were. But my point is, like restaurants. There's a Burger King and a McDonald's, and guess what? They're both successful, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of people think I need some really unique service and
Something you
product,
right.
and, and you don't. I mean, I use the example. You may have the best taco truck in the town. What I do is I help you turn that taco truck into, instead of two or three, into two or 300 or 2 or 3,000. And and the way we do that, or the services we provide here, I'll put on your marketing seatbelt, because I'm going to market a little bit here. The What we do is, you got a concept, you got that passion. Okay, we'll come alongside. We'll make sure you're administratively ready. We'll make sure you have all the operations manuals. We'll help you set up relationships with taco truck vendors, or we'll help you do all the legal work. We'll help you market and sell these franchises to interested owners. I mean, we'll do soup to nuts. And on top of that, we'll align you with some world-class business mentors. We work with a number of franchise sales organizations that do that. They market your business, they coach you through that, and we're aligned with all of them. I mean, we have one we like particularly well. We're there's a little bit of cross ownership that's going on there, but not every shoe fits the same foot.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best solution is in our internal solution, and we're all very I'm trying to think agnostic when it comes
Yeah.
to selecting, what's the right thing for you.
So you don't even have to have a running business. You're saying come with an idea and let's work it out and see how we can first bring your business to market and then expand.
Well, I guess potentially that would work. I mean,
Mhm.
I think you need maybe a little more in your checking account than if you had some operating businesses. But at the same time, you don't need 4 operating businesses. We just worked with a company. It's a wonderful company, and I mean, I represent them now on the other side of our business. But I'll just tell you, it's called We Chippy. It's
Mhm.
a very small franchise. They have one location. I want to say their size was maybe, I want to say 120 square feet, something like that, on the boardwalk. And what they do, they have the best French fries in the Los Angeles area, as judged by Best of the Los Angeles Times. That,
Yeah.
and the best fried fish and chips. We Chippy, started by a Scottish man. Unbelievable revenues, doing from a very small space. They have one unit, okay, and they are going. Well, they're going to start in the United States. I have no doubt they're gonna take over the fish and chips market in the country.
Wow.
In fact, if anybody's interested in a moderate expense, and likes the idea of running a fish and chips place, this is phenomenal. I'd love to talk to them.
Wow. That's great. So, and that goes back to our first show talking about if you want to buy
Right.
into a franchise, because there are so many like really cool, everybody thinks, well, if I have to buy into a franchise, I need to buy into McDonald's. No, there's so many cool small franchise, businesses out there that are looking to franchise and expand, that you can buy into without huge thousands and tens of thousands of dollars of investment.
Yeah, no, and food is actually it's more it's probably more expensive than a lot. There are a lot of business to business franchises,
Mm-hmm.
home service franchises, things you do. I mean, we were talking a little bit about businesses and what you used to do, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to bring that up, but I was thinking, there's so many like I love working around the house. I love tinkering around the house. I build stuff. I do all sorts of stuff. I like fixing stuff. I don't like, that's just kind of what I like to do on my sideline. But there's so many home service franchises that for under 100K or well under 100K, well under 100K, you could be doing something you actually kind of enjoy, right?
Right.
And I'm not and to be honest, to do what I do, tinkering for a business, I probably not a good idea for me. But I enjoy, and when I did own my franchise, I think I connected well with customers because I had a passion for the business and I had a passion for what they were trying to achieve. But
Yeah.
what
Oh,
we, and where I was going with this is, I'm a partner in this company, the franchise consulting company, and we do, everything soup to nuts, right? From
mhm.
helping people start franchises to marketing and selling them, and everything in between.
And everything in between. You know, so if you're thinking, yeah, let's say you have a digital business, right? It's not a brick and mortar. It's not. How do you even? How do you quantify what the business is in order to franchise it? So if I have a digital business, what do I have to have in place?
Sure. So what the first thing you're gonna laugh is give me a call and we'll chat about it.
Give him a
Um,
call or email. Let's see. Email him. See, this is his email right here. Steve Taylor at thefranchiseconsultingcompany.com. So
yes,
email,
thank
give him
you.
an email. Because if you're not even sure about whether your business can be franchised or what kind of business you can, what is the first step in this process of franchising my business, give Steve
Well,
a
that
reach
I,
out.
the first is spending 15 minutes on the phone call, and we'll have a discussion, and I'll probably ask some discuss. We'll have a discussion, but then, if it makes sense, then I'll get an expert on the phone.
Mhm.
I'll get. I mean, I guess I'm an expert, but I'll get another expert, someone that is intimately associated with the legal, the operations,
Right, because do you need, like, a business valuation? Do you need like, if you were going to sell your is it, like, the same process as if you were gonna sell your business?
well, what one of the first things, no, it's not exactly the same as if you're going to sell it. What we will do is we'll do it a market evaluation,
Mhm.
and we'll look at that, and then it's a pretty broad. I'm trying to think of the word here. It's not like one person has the whole picture in
Mhm.
their head. Of course, you have people like me, which I've got a lot of experience, but I'm more of a generalist. But what I do is
Yeah.
I go out and hire best in class attorneys, best in class,
Right.
um, people to do the operations, the manuals, to do the legal, the
Mhm.
financial, the everything, right?
So,
And
tell me, I don't mean
go
to
ahead.
cut you off, but as you're talking about that, then what I'm reminded to ask is, like, give me a timeline, so to speak. So if I come to you and I say, okay, I want to franchise my business, what kind of timeline or lead time am I looking at? Like 12 months, 18 months, 24 months?
No, depending on your maturity and your readiness and where you're located, it can be as low as 6 weeks. I've heard 30 days.
What?
Um, but, but, but,
Yeah,
there's always a but in
a
there.
big but.
It depends where you are, for example.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cap on California. I live in California. I work in California. California, to get it registered sometimes takes a year.
Mm,
So if you have, you know, plans to expand into California, it's not going to be 6 weeks. Florida, where you are, happens to be much more business friendly, or
mm.
I should say, they make it much less difficult to register, to,
The business,
to
right.
market in your state. The other thing is, we could be ready to franchise, but part of what we do is we market and we represent your company. And you know, you can't, you know enough about marketing, and most people do. You can't turn on marketing today and expect to have people, you know, with
Yeah,
hundreds of thousands of dollars or even $50,000 burning to buy as soon as you turn
right.
on the switch, right? So there is some lag time, and you know, things like we own a
Well,
physical
yeah. I mean,
franchise show. Yeah,
I don't necessarily mean someone buying into your franchise. I just mean the process of getting it ready to
yeah.
be
6 weeks, I think,
6 weeks
is
is like
reasonable. 3
the
months. Yeah,
hmm.
somewhere in
And
there.
you walk people through every step of the process, soup to nuts,
Exactly right.
to get there. And on the flip side of that, help them find someone who's willing to buy into the franchise as well, and then help those people be successful in that franchise. So
Yeah,
it's a full
absolutely.
service. You're
Yeah.
getting front door, back door service. It's full service all the way through.
So
Um,
yeah, I mean, I was just gonna, yeah, there's always an elephant in the room, right? And
mhm.
the elephant, people are like, oh, that sounds great, Steve. You know, how many million dollars you want?
How much are you
And
going to charge me? Right, right.
so, so here's the deal. It's not as much as you might expect, and maybe more, but we typically do this for a flat fee of $50,000, and that's it. I don't necessarily get anything. What I do say is, if you want to hire me as, you know, as a consultant, as you know, a lot of times I'll sit on a board, for example, an advisory board.
Mhm.
What I ask then is, if you're very successful, then I ask for a piece of that
A
pie
piece of the
when
business,
you
right.
sell or when you're successful.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't necessarily get paid up front a dime. This
Right.
goes to attorneys, to marketing, to, you know, the
Getting
content
everything
we get
set
out there.
and helping you with your processes, helping you make sure you have everything in place. I love that. So tell us how I had another question now that I did want to ask, but
It's a big, it's
you
a
know, there's so
big,
many things in creating a franchise for your business, because now I'm thinking of all the things that I could have franchised, right?
yeah, exactly.
All the businesses I could have franchised instead of just, oh, I'm done with that. Let's move on. Um, how can someone who's franchising now, I want to start franchising my business. How do I step away from the original business now without selling that original business? Do you help them with that too, if they're looking to, well, I want to back off. I want to, create multiples of these, but that's going to be my legacy, so I can remove myself a little bit.
Well, yeah. So a couple of things. A lot of companies maintain corporate locations.
Mhm.
I'll use the analogy of a restaurant. Um, like I don't know, Taco Bell. They've got to try the new recipe for nachos grandy, or you know,
Right.
whatever it is, right? Taco Bell, I'm sure they have acres of field kitchen, you know, kitchens,
Yeah.
but most franchisors maintain one, two, or three units. Some
Hmm.
don't, but you can do that. The other thing is, you were talking about legacy. Let me just take that a different direction. Um, I've worked with people, they've got, let's say they have three restaurants, they have three sons, and they don't know how to pass them on to their sons.
Hmm.
Well, one of the things you could do is franchise and then give each child a franchise. As a parent, you can hang on, do again using the restaurant analogy, you do the recipes, you manage it centrally, you're getting royalties,
Hmm.
but you're not doing the operations. And in most cases, the operations is kind of the hardest nut, right?
Right.
And people don't get into businesses necessarily to do the operations, but they get into to lead a business. They're leaders that want to create something. With a franchise, you can insulate yourself. That may not be the right word, but you can remove yourself where you're not involved in the day to day so much, but you're still guiding the organization and creating the
Right.
conditions for
Like the
success.
chairman or something like that.
Yeah,
And
exactly right. Non-executive chairman, or yeah,
nice.
um, you're building the recipes. You're choosing the colors for the napkins. Making sure the vendors don't
All the high level
support
stuff.
you on the shrimp.
Right. You're not
Yeah,
going down into the weeds. You're staying away from the weeds. Nice.
right, right. And let me put it another way. With franchisees, what you're getting is you got someone with skin in the game.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll tell you, as a former business owner, as a current business owner, no one works quite as hard or efficiently as an owner. So
Mhm.
you may be giving up some of the control and some of the revenue, but you're enabling highly motivated people to make their mark and to get some benefits
Yeah.
of their own as business owners.
I have a final question. I remember watching The Founder, Ray Kroc's.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that story was, but there was a part when he started looking for people who are going to own the McDonald's restaurants, and he was looking at family, like young families, people who are married that would want to take over to have their own business like that. Because at first it was these country club people that he thought, yeah, they could pay for it, but they didn't care. And then he thought, okay, well, let's find these families because they will care about it. They'll take care of it like it was their own. So is that kind of a process that you help the owner who wants to franchise think, who is your target buyer for this? Who are you looking for to buy into this business?
That is a great observation, and that is absolutely what we're doing. I was on a podcast. I can't. It was a competing podcast. Okay, but someone
That's
heard me on
fine. We're not competitors. We're all out here to do
that.
the very same thing, is to share information and knowledge.
But this person reached out specifically because I'm a veteran and I'm part of the company that we actively look for veterans. And he's
Mhm.
like, Steve, I love veterans. He's a fascinating guy, right? He's funny. He's half Israeli, half German, and he's
Mhm.
just a wonderful man. I just love to death. But my point is together we brainstorm as well. What does your ideal franchise look like? Franchisee, where do we go get them? How can I help you? That type of thing. And it's not always a military veteran. It may be someone with a passion for hair and makeup, with a background in the service industry,
Mhm.
or someone who was a collegiate or a high school athlete, that still wants to be involved in athletes and youth sports, or
Right.
fill in the blanks. I mean, there's many many different descriptions for a
Yeah.
franchise or ideal franchise owners you can think of.
Well, well, I thank you so much for sharing with us today. And this is all fascinating stuff. So, Steve, I really appreciate you coming and sharing. And again, he is to contact Steve if you are either interested in franchising your own business or buying into a franchise to become a business owner. You can reach Steve at Steve Taylor at thefranchiseconsultingcompany.com. It's across the bottom of the screen. So check him out. And if you want to know more, just go to thefranchiseconsultingcompany.com. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us again.
Thank you, Alicia. It was a lot of fun.
Great. And good luck to your daughters with her swim meet.
Thank you. I'll let
Take
them
care.
know.
Bye. Well, that was Steve Taylor from the Franchise Consulting Company. So if you are interested in franchising, give them a call. Like you said, 15 minutes could change your life, and he'll help you know where to go and what to do. Let's take a quick break from our sponsors. So don't go anywhere.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Empower yourself with knowledge. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu. mmeri.famu.edu. MARY. Educate, learn, talk.
Welcome back to Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I'm your host, Alicia Curry, and we were supposed to have Jamila come in today to talk about her books and all the wonderful things she's doing. Unfortunately, we had some tech issues with her, so we will bring her back at another time. But I did want to say thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of Small Business Saturday Shout Out. I am your host, Alicia Curry, and just some quick notes before we close out the show. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/c/Alicia Curry. Join our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/SBSSO, and that's for Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And don't forget, we have shows every first and third Saturdays of the month. So you can be a guest. And to be a guest, just email us, support@aliciacurry.com, or send me a DM. If you want to connect with me and you're not sure how to connect with me, you can follow me on social media. Go to alicia360.com and on that site, if you hit the connect button, you can WhatsApp me, you can text me, you can email me, you can, carry a pigeon, you can get in touch with me, smoke signals. Just go to alicia360.com and you will find me. If you're only on Instagram, you can go to the Alicia Curry or at Audacious Confidence, and you can connect with me there. We have several other shows here on Red Carpet CEO. So Mondays, it's Unleash Your Audacious Confidence on winwinwomen.tv. So check us out. Go to winwinwomen.tv on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern, and that's for Unleash Your Audacious Confidence. And on Wednesdays, our show, Love My Body, Love Myself, that is a show that's very special to me. So stay tuned, or you can tune in on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern for Love My Body, Love Myself. And I believe that is all the announcements I wanted to share with you today. Don't forget to check out our guest, Steve Taylor, at thefranchiseconsultingcompany.com. Until next time, I am going to say adieu. I hate to say dates, but the middle of the year is almost here. My birthday month starts tomorrow. So I am super excited for this month coming up, and I will keep you guys updated if you go ahead and follow me on social media. My birthday month is a big month. I love that month. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there coming up, and yeah. I will see you again next time for another episode of Small Business Saturday Shout Out. Talk to you soon. Mwah.